And we'd like to welcome current U.S. Congressman and retired Navy SEAL Scott Taylor here on Newsmax TV. Congressman Taylor, it's great to have you with us today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, so we want to talk a little bit about the State of the Union and kind of this push you're making for the members of Congress who are going to boycott the whole thing. But there's been an update to this today. Congressional Black Caucus Chairman Cedric Richmond said this to BuzzFeed, quote, we could go and walk out. We could go and hold up our fist, or we could not go, or we could hold our own State of the Union, adding, we really don't care what Trump thinks about us. Does this represent a low point, do you think, in State of the Union discourse and how these things are supposed to happen?
Well, you know, they mentioned the president. We don't care what Trump thinks. It's not about the president. It's about the institution. It's not about them disrespecting the president. They're really disrespecting the institution. So, you know, I think it's petty. I think it's beneath their office. I think that they should show up just like everybody else there is, and like that's been tradition for, you know, time-honored tradition. And I just think they're being petty. And I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure you're going to ask me about the veterans. I'm sure there's plenty of black veterans that I know that would love to take their spot.
And I've seen this. I've seen this on Twitter. I've been trying to retweet the folks because they're talking about this now. A lot of veterans out there, and even probably active duty military, would love to go to the State of the Union. I would love to go to the State of the Union. And it seems like, you know, this is ramping up. We look back on Joe Wilson all those years ago. I think he went overboard when he yelled out, you lie, or whatever he said to President Obama. But you mentioned that this is an institution. This is one of the great things about American democracy. And this, to me, as you said, it's petty and it just seems sad. Now, I haven't had a chance to call Congressman Richmond's office yet, but we did reach out to all 5 of the other Democrats who say they're going to boycott this. But I'm sure you're not surprised that none of them took the opportunity to come on Newsmax TV and join us for this interview, and none of them even wrote back to my written questions.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, and it's unfortunate because they should be happy to come on here and tell folks why they want to disrespect the institution. But like I said, I'm sure I could find plenty of black veterans or active duty who would love to take the place of the Congressional Black Caucus at the State of the Union.
Yeah, so we dug around and we found this clip from one of those guys, Democrat Earl Blumenauer, talking about why he's boycotting. And I'm sure you won't be surprised by this type of rhetoric he's using in this video. Let's take a listen.
He lies to the American people. He sows discord and discontent. He doesn't believe in policy. He doesn't understand policy, and he doesn't care. He doesn't deal with the elements of governance. Instead, it's performance. I mean, it is embarrassing to watch. I'm not going to waste my time.
Waste his time. We're sorry, we don't want to waste anybody's time. But pretty strident comments there coming from one of your colleagues in the U.S. Congress. But my question is this. You've got a lot on your plate up there with the immigration debate taking place, the government set to shut down. How can you guys get anything done when you have members of Congress that are taking these types of positions? It's pretty extreme and out of the mainstream.
It is pretty extreme. It seems to be that people are getting rewarded for bad behavior, and you know they want to be as provocative as possible, and you know be part of that. You know, like I was just on CNN recently, and they didn't ask me about the president this time, but usually they do, and that's all the interview is about. So they just want to get airtime. They want to make a big stink, but. You know, like I said, they're not just disrespecting the president, they're disrespecting the institution, and they should be above that as leaders of our country.
In effect, I think they're disrespecting all of us as Americans who actually care about these types. You know, a lot of folks consider this pomp and circumstance, the State of the Union, sort of a, obligatory exercise for the president, but this political nerd loves the exercise of the State of the Union, and I know a lot of our audience does as well. Congressman Taylor, it's great to have you with us, and this is we'll keep our eyes on this as the State of the Union approaches. Hopefully we'll get some folks inside Congress that actually want to hear what the president has to say, because I know there's a lot of them out there. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you. We'll reach out to their offices to see if they want to give up their seats.
All right. Thanks. Take care.
Thank you.